Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Lycan Studios. So I've actually been having a lot of people tell me that with all of this new information, there's no possible way that the plot leak revealed a couple months ago could actually work. Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, it's still good. Now, do note that I did come up with this in about 20 minutes, but I'm trying to just combine everything that we've learned within the last couple days with that old plot leak from a couple months ago. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and definitely leave me a comment if you think that this could happen. I 100% do, but like I said, you never know where Game of Thrones is going to go, so don't hold me to this. This is just a theory. Alright, so anyways, episode 1 starts off being directed by David Nutter. That should mean that it's going to focus more on character development and stuff like that, more of the story development, as opposed to it being a war. So the opening scene will take place in Wintertown. Jon and Dany will arrive back in Winterfell. They will be preparing for war by forging dragonglass weapons and rallying their banners. The Night King will continue to move south and will soon arrive at Winterfell, probably gaining massive numbers of followers as he takes out different locations. So I think episode 1 is very simple. We do not know too much about it. The only thing that's really been dropped is that it is directed by David Nutter, and then the opening scene could possibly take place in Wintertown. It all fits. So then we have episode 2. It is directed as well by David Nutter, which means, like I said before, probably focusing more on character development and not a war. So we have Winterfell continuing to prepare for war. Everyone will begin to be armed with dragonglass as more and more is produced, and Jon will possibly find out he is actually named Aegon Targaryen. Now this one is kind of off and on. I could see it definitely being announced in episode 1 that he is Aegon Targaryen, but maybe with everything going on, it might be an episode 2 thing where he finds out. So this could kind of go back and forth between episode 1 and episode 2, but it still fits with the leak. So then we have episode 3 that's going to be our first episode directed by someone else other than David Nutter. It's going to be directed by Miguel Sapochnik, who is pretty much known for war scenes and war episodes such as the Battle of the Bastards. So I think that Winterfell will kind of like finish prepping in the beginning of the episode. Battle strategies will be discussed, but they're going to fail because Winterfell will most likely fall to the flames of Assyrian, and the heroes will have to escape to King's Landing. Bran may decide right here to split off to go to the God's Eye to figure out how to stop him in his own way. Now, after you hear what I think happens in episode 4 and 5, this may be a little bit of a stretch, but I kind of just wanted to throw it in there to see if it would fit because I do love this ending. With him being at the Isle of the Faces surrounded by the lake, I kind of feel like maybe the Army of the Dead, when they're traveling south to King's Landing, could kind of just pass over that area, but it might be unlikely, so we'll just wait and see what happens. So episode 4 is also directed by David Nutter, and the final one directed by him. The heroes will arrive in King's Landing, and maybe Jon first. He may ride ahead on Rhaegal or something like that, while the others are traveling on the other dragon, Drogon. He will end up meeting with Cersei and try to make her understand why they need her help. Cersei will pretend to act like she is going to help, however she secretly decides to put Jon in chains. The mountain imprisons Jon as Cersei commands during the final scene. So episode 5 doesn't necessarily say that's when Jon ends up put in chains, just that he is. That's why I think he could actually end up imprisoned in episode 4 or towards the end of episode 4. That way in episode 5 the dialogue that happens in the plot leak could take place. So episode 5 is directed by Miguel Sapochnik as well, so we think that it's going to be the final war, well, the final battle in the war. The heroes realize Jon has been gone too long, and Jaime will decide to see if he can reason with Cersei. Cersei will leave him no other option but to strangle her. I'm not too sure how we'll get past the mountain, but they could work that out. The final battle will take place most likely between the 3 different factions, all killing each other off. This would be an insane battle. Can you imagine fighting 2 different enemies? That could be crazy. Also, easily, like, partway through the battle, they could all just decide that they need to focus their attention on the Army of the Dead. I think once all of the humans realize, like, what they're up against, they will probably switch and try to attack them. But anyways, episode 6 is directed by Benioff and Weiss. I'm hoping this episode just goes amazingly. But anyways, Jon could realize that there's no hope at King's Landing and retreat to where Bran is with the other heroes. With nothing left to lose, maybe the only thing he's thinking is that hopefully Bran figured out a way to stop him. Many heroes will most likely die fighting, including Jaime. I think he will do something very heroic, which kind of brings up like where Bronn and Tyrion were talking in the plot leak. But anyways, Jon will find Bran and discover he is the Night King. Now, something that I did forget to mention is that Melisandre could come back in maybe one of the previous episodes and actually tell Jon that she thinks that Bran is the Night King as well, or that she just sees like a wolf tied to a weirwood tree, just to kind of help push the fact that Jon will end up knowing that Bran is the Night King. Then you could also throw in the fact that they decide to like burn Melisandre at the stake and Davos kind of gets his revenge. But anyways, that's like a whole different video. But I think that Jon will end it by killing Bran, and then the show will skip over a few years, leaving us with a bittersweet ending. Maybe not even a couple years, but just at least a few weeks or a few days, just long enough for them to kind of relax a little bit. And then it could go to the scene where Tyrion is actually talking to Bronn and gives him the towers, and everything could work out pretty awesome. Now, like I said previously, this is me just trying to tell you guys that this could still be legitimate. I'm not too sure. I don't really think that they would risk anything being leaked. I think they have that stuff nicely under wrapped, but I'm just saying, like, it could easily work out. Honestly, for me, I'm not too sure what's going to happen yet. Like, I think everything that we know, that we hear of, like on Watchers on the Wall, like any of these websites could all be false. Like, you just have no idea. They could be purposely just like creating this diversion where they kind of have Jon on a King's Landing set, but it's not even really relevant to what goes down. What we know about the directors could not even be true. Like, they could have this so far in the wrapped and just try to be tricking everyone that our minds will just be blown, and I kind of hope they are. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I just kind of wanted to prove a point for everybody that's saying that this already could not line up, because it still could, but is it true? Probably not. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Lycan Studios. Peace.